Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Pham,
Hey everyone, I'm Jaray Corpus.
and this is our presentation comparing methods for monitoring chronic non-bacterial osteomyelitis. Chronic non-bacterial osteomyelitis, also known as CNO, is a rare autoinflammatory bone disease where the immune system attacks normal, healthy bone. This leads to bone inflammation and destruction. The use of inflammation markers is currently used to monitor the state of CNO. A blood test will be run looking for high levels of erythrocyte sedimentation rate, ESR, and C-reactive protein, CRP, as high levels are indications of inflammation. A clinical visit that is quantified by a physician global assessment score, PGA, will also be performed to check for the presence of inflammation, and magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, is used to check for the presence of inflammation and lesions. The reports from these assessments are typically inconsistent because data allowing for a detailed analysis is lacking, which is why we aim to investigate the association among these disease monitoring methods by using Seattle Children's Hospital's CNO research database.
For this project, we gathered all of our data from a Seattle Children's database of CNO patients ranging from January 2014 to January 2021. Patients that were of 21 years of age or younger with CNO are what is included in our plots and graphs. These criteria resulted in 158 patients with a total of 366 samples. Relevant variables focused on were ESR, CRP, PGA scores, and total lesion count. And with the statistical analysis, we were able to get a glimpse of potential relationships regarding these variables. Here, we are conveying in visual form some of the basic statistics of the measurements gathered. Below each box plot is the median and standard deviation, thus depicting what a typical measurement value is for each respective variable, as well as how much the data deviates from the central value. To note, both PGA and lesion count for patients with active disease have relatively more clustered data, while ESR and CRP data are spread out. Now we'll look closer into the relationships between total lesion count and the three different measurements we are focusing on for this study. First off, between lesion count and PGA score, there's a statistically significant positive relationship between the variables. A higher lesion count results in a higher PGA score. A low R-squared value, though, indicates weaker fit for our regression line. Next, we are looking at lesion count versus ESR. Here, a slight positive correlation appears, but this relationship is not significant with a p-value higher than 0.05. The R-squared calculated indicates a weaker fit of the trend line as well. Lastly, CRP, just like the ESR plot from before, may show somewhat of a positive correlation, but a higher p-value results in this relationship being not significant. In addition, an R-squared value that is low again indicates a weaker fit of the trend line.
So to summarize our data, we saw a positive correlation between the active lesion count and the PGA score, but no correlation between the active lesion count and the ESR CRP values. We can expect the positive correlation between active lesion count and PGA score, as the PGA score is determined at a clinical visit where the patient is evaluated by a physician. The PGA score is determined by the physician and is calculated based off the severity and prominence of the lesions. We additionally need to further investigate the relationship between active lesion count and ESR values, as well as CRP values, because from the data, we can see a p-value for ESR is 0.77, and a p-value for CRP is 0.0708, meaning that the data is not statistically significant as it is greater than 0.05. With continuous efforts to further raise awareness for CNO and more research between the correlation of these inflammation markers and the severity of the disease, we hope to come to a consensus among CNO disease monitoring methods. Thank you.